Hello and welcome to Beacon Space Rediscovery with myself, Xavier, and Demeist and Indifferent, who will not be the names for the rest of this session, as we actually have characters to introduce ourselves with. But if you're new here, welcome on in to Unrestricted Lore Fair, or if you're watching over on Demeist channel, hi, hello, it's wonderful to have you here today. You'll get to join us as we explore the world of Beacon Space through the lens of rediscovery. How about you all take away an introduction, and then we'll go a little bit more into telling people what the setting is after the two of you get a chance to introduce yourself. So how about you go next, Demeist, since you're a co-stream host today.
Hey, in case you guys don't know, what we do here at the Demise program is just sort of nothing very well, but a lot of things very sporadically. And one of those things is a month ago, we did Beacon Space Rediscovery Session 0, where we set up the setting truths, figured out everything that we're planning on doing. And so that holds true going forward in time. I'm super thankful for Xavier offering to, of course, let me play in this space with them. And, it's fantastic because I wanted to say I've been with the program. Is that too clinical? Have I been with the program since its inception?
I'll take it.
We've been with the program since its inception, so it's just delightful to be here. We're going to be doing a charity stream tomorrow as well, but that's another thing for later. We'll save those for the out bits. And then if we're letting people take it away, Valeria, save me from myself.
Wait, why do you need saving from yourself? You're doing fine.
Just constantly.
Hello, I am Ilaria. You might know me as Enderfriend, friendly neighborhood Twitch mod, or from the Unrestricted Lorefair server as Zenith, a Gavala's faction rep. And I'm here to have fun and do some Starforge.
Yeah. So, as mentioned, we're in the world of Beacon Space, which some of you may be familiar with if you've watched, in fact, even this past weekend, the Lore Stream and Faction Turn stream, covering both the fictional and non-fictional elements of the game, as it operates on the Faction Turn level, which are these giant organizations that hold an influence and can shift power about throughout the sector. But you may notice on my screen, at least anyway, because I'm, unlike Demise, don't have a just single face setup stream. Maybe I should steal that from him, but regardless, you get to take a look at the Roll20 instance, where we've got our ship on a station, and you'll notice that this is not anything like the map you may be familiar with. So, yeah. There is no existing map in our rediscovery as we are exploring the frontiers of Beacon Space. So elements of the game and setting truths are still a thing. You may know them from the wiki, which is now back up, or from previous experience just engaging with the system. But yeah, we'll still be keeping a lot of those, but it'll be a different look at the world itself. So, with that, is there any other session starting bits from Ironsworn in the Starforged variant that we should be aware of before we get started? I'll leave that mostly to Ilaria, I think.
I'm looking. Let me see. There is the beginning of session move, I think.
Is there a move for it?
There's at least a section that talks about it. I don't remember if this is actually a separate move. That's what I'm trying to check.
That may be something we roll on for not quite the very first session as well. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, I think the main one is I think this is a list of things you do. You set a flag, which is where you set like your content boundaries.
Which
so I don't know if
already done off stream.
Yeah. Review what happened last session, which session 0 happened, and then
we created our world. Woohoo!
And then set the scene by envisioning your character's current situation and intent.
Well, given it's our first setup, we have a little bit of it's not quite in medias res setup. It's probably more establishing the situation for our characters that we drafted beforehand, and then we'll run into discovering what's up for this world proper. In total lack of planning, though, we didn't decide who was going to read what of this introduction. Perhaps I shouldn't read the entire thing.
I mean, you know.
In hilarity, but perhaps I'll start, and then when we hit the section that describes each of our characters, you all can take over that paragraph. Does that sound like a solid plan?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Well, I will go ahead and get us started then. So, to set the scene of Session 1 of Beacon Space Rediscovery, the camera pans through the vastness of space before settling on a ship. Somewhere up full screen, the title comes up and says, Beacon Space Rediscovery, and then the words fueling disaster fade in and out, before we snap cut onto a full screen of a terminal display in the sort of classic green terminal emanating light from it, as it appears that the fuel gauges, along with a variety of other symbols, are in full display, and it's notable that the fuel is near empty. As the camera pulls away from the terminal, the bridge of the IFS Legacy comes into full view, with 5 crew members manning various stations. Outside the reinforced structural glass, an outpost station, the Eternatus, slowly fades into view. A small outpost, but one often navigable with an ease from the center system of Beacon Space. Far away from the Eternatus, the event horizon of a black hole disappears from view, and suddenly, the camera snap focuses back onto the ship as there's a call-out made.
Eternatus Station, comms link established.
The camera turns to Gecko, who's currently perched on the edge of a shelving unit. They got 2 arms braced on it for support, and with 2 of the other arms, they're sorting through the tangled mess of components in the box, looking through it, trying to figure out what they do need, what they don't need to pick up on the station. Reflective green of their metallic reptilian form glints under the bright overhead lighting. The pastel pink and cream spines run down the lengths of their back, shifting slightly as they continue to rummage through the container, each of their 6 limbs adjusting slightly to keep balance. Looking up slightly, they tilt their head, wondering where the other of their crew might be as the scene shifts.
Seymour Valentine had his boots up on the console, toothpick in his mouth, 'cause Gaz for some reason doesn't like cigarettes on the flight deck, and his leather duster wrapped around him tight. At a casual glance, Seymour looked like he belonged to a planet that hadn't discovered gates yet, which suited him just fine. But around his neck he wore a silver band with a myriad of dials and buttons and switches. And if you look too closely at his boots, you might notice that the soles were quite a bit thicker than any normal desperado might wear. He had a revolver, as you might do when you see a guy like that, but there's also something nearby that's a little weirder, a little more alive, a little more annoyingly pulsating, and he has it propped up beside him as the camera switches.
And a snap cut appears back to the bridge. This time, it's facing the individual at the helm, as we find Gaz standing confidently, coordinating the flourish of activity on the bridge. He appears to be human, visually in his mid-30s, wearing a long multi-piece ruby suit. In impeccable condition, along with a purple coat and blue accent pieces. A pocket watch hangs out of their jacket, and a briefcase sits next to the captain's chair. It's not long before another announcement is played over the bridge comms.
IFS Legacy, automated prospectors approved. Docking Bay 4, Eternatus Station. Notice, station fuel supplies low, and we are unable to offer refueling service at this time. Other station operations. See the anomaly.
Gaz looks fairly annoyed before speaking up to say, "Drat, we were hoping to refuel here. Gecko, how's our fuel supplies look?"
Well, it's not looking great. There's a couple things I could try, but it probably won't last much longer, even if they work.
Sorry, are we out of fuel or are we running out of fuel? Because I feel like there's a big difference between the two.
Minimal fuel, and there's just no more here, apparently. We'll have to decide how to proceed. We've only got about 2 solid jumps left in us. With that, the ship docks to the Eternatus station, the first waypoint on our journey out into the edges of beacon space. I needed some sound effect to wrap that up. I'm man, that could have been so good there. I'll make notes for next session, everyone.
I think that was good. So, I suppose we probably... Well, I guess we're in the station right now, so we're not technically making doing an expedition. We're at the bit where we get ready to go on an expedition.
That would be correct. I also think, aren't we supposed to establish some sort of quest for the current problem?
Yes. So I suppose we could swear an iron vow to find fuel, or we could have a more overarching one on which finding fuel is a stepstone towards what we're actually trying to do. Which of those would you prefer, I suppose?
I feel like the current problem is finding fuel, so that feels to be a reasonable quest goal. Refuel the IFS Legacy.
Sure.
It seems reasonable that perhaps I should add this to my character sheet, given Gaz is the established captain on board.
That does make sense, unless the ship has its own character sheet, because we could
The
keep
ship
things
does.
there as well.
I guess we could add it there. That would make sense. That way we don't have to play the Roll20 game of everybody managing to, mess up the one character sheet with a ship on it that's also somebody else's character ship. So refuel the ship. Do you think this is troublesome or dangerous?
That is a good question, because all we know about the situation at the moment is that the station doesn't have much fuel. Or any fuel.
I think going into a station where they explicitly said they don't have enough fuel, and then we're like, yes, hello, we would like some of the things that you don't have. That, to me, strikes me as a kind of dangerous situation to be in.
It seems at least more than troublesome.
Yeah.
Dangerous feels appropriate, then. We've got our dangerous first vowel. Now, am I supposed to make a roll for this?
So it's about what we're all doing. I guess you probably would make it since you're the captain, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like when there are allies involved in this version, you all could make an aid roll, but perhaps for purposes of simplicity on the first roll, I should just roll the die unassisted to see.
I think in this case, there's minimal ways we could directly help you.
I'm not sure I have much ways I can help the situation. Our established problem is the place we thought was going to help us can't. Oh no. So, it looks like I need to roll on this plus heart.
Yep.
I don't have a connection, so I don't get to add +1, and I don't have a bond, so no +2. Okay. So I guess that means I just need to hit the button for swearing an iron vow. The roll, not the button that gives the details.
Okay.
So you rolled significantly better than me, Seymour, but it's fine.
That was a test roll from previously.
Yeah, it makes sense. So we should take a moment to explain the roll results we've just made. Especially, read them out for anybody who may only be listening audio only in the future. Perhaps somebody who knows the system slightly better than I should go over them.
Sure. Do you want to, or shall I?
this is that moment where I'm like, I know there are 3 stones, and each one of the stones has a glyph or sigil marked into them. Yeah, would you mind, Ilaria?
Sure. So, as mentioned, we have these 3 values here. The first one, your action score, is it's a d6 roll plus the attribute you're rolling with. So here it's uh,
Heart.
yes. And then you compare that to the 2 challenge dice, each of which are a d10, and if the number of your action score is higher than the challenge dice, then it beats it. If it's lower, it doesn't beat it. And based on how many you beat, that determines your result. If you beat both of them, that's a strong hit. If you only beat one, that's a weak hit. And if you don't beat any, then that is a miss. So we have one that's higher here and one that's not, so we have a weak hit.
Yeah, so for anybody, that was an 8 on the action die and then a 4 and 10 for the challenge die. So I believe that means I take +1 momentum, so I go from the standard 2 to now a +3, and we need to envision a path forward. Which I think starts with Gaz going at least to walk off the ship and see who's still on station and figure out why their fuel reserves are so low.
Yeah, I think if we're sort of envisioning this as the closest space station to what is known space versus sort of the frontier and the outskirts, right?
Yep.
This is probably a little bit weird, right? In that like everything is somewhat familiar, right? Like the technology isn't so horrifically out of date, but it's definitely not tell us, right? Like it's definitely not. Like there's something there that if we're equating space stations to gas stations, for lack of a better touchstone, that I feel like the Eternatus is sort of the like Bucky's rest stop, whereas maybe we're normally used to something a little bit more like corporate and sleek and streamlined, right? Like we as the doors open up and Gaz gets off, I imagine there's almost something to the effect of maybe like there's some guy walking past and he's got like a bunch of like random odds and ends that aren't actually very useful, and he's like maybe grumbling to himself about the lack of customer service or something here. A bunch of people from core space who are just going to Eternatus to sort of seek it out as like maybe a touristy zone or some sort of like place to cut your teeth, right?
Yeah, so actually, is anybody else joining Gaz, or are they the only ones heading off?
I think Gecko would be following because while fuel is very important, there are also the other things that they've been like cataloging that they want to find to restock the ship's generic components.
Yeah. Sevens, are you coming as well?
Yeah, probably might as well. Otherwise, guys, who knows what you're gonna get up to out there?
Well, at least I know I'm well defended with you around.
Well, you are well off.
That's something, all right. I think as our party steps off, then we do actually run into that local you were talking about, or Taurus, perhaps is a better word. And they're not human. I think we run into an avian-like creature, the Puchjunta. I've totally butchered that pronunciation, and I apologize. But I think we run into one of them, and they're about the same height as a humanoid, and their articulated hands consist of multiple talons, along with a thumb-like appendage on their hand, not a complete thumb. We see them set up with a small table that has all kinds of shiny trinkets on board as they squawk about, trying to draw people's attention. I don't think Gaz pays them much mind.
How close, would they be to where we are? Would you say? Are they just loud, so your kind of attention's drawn to them, or are they right there?
I think it's mostly they're just loud.
Okay.
But if we're imagining that we've docked the ship and the sort of all of the ship docks are on one spot, and you sort of funnel into the rest of the station, that you have to pass by their stand. Right?
Gotcha.
You can ignore them, but you've definitely seen them, and they know you've seen them.
I think Gecko will probably give what they've got a cursory look as a goodbye, shopping list in one hand, 3 limbs on the wall, kind of they climb along. I imagine they're every so often on the floor, but usually they're on the wall because it's less traffic, less likely to get stepped on.
Makes sense. I guess we in that regards we see Gaz almost look straight up then at the roof and be like, suggestions on where to go to first. It's been quite a few months since we've stopped here. I almost forget we were back in the center system. Telestation's amenities do quite rival this.
I think there's a good a restaurant. It's not a proper restaurant, but a snack place. They had good information last time we were here.
Fair. Is this tax place? Is this snack place? Wow. Oof. Is this snack place an established local thing, or is it a chain from Beacon Space proper that has managed to establish itself out here?
It's probably a knockoff of a chain, to be honest. You'd look at it on a cursory glance if you were kind of sleepy and had just gotten here and went, yeah, that looks right. And then you'd look at it later on and be like, hang on, that's the logo's a slightly different color and the font's all tilted.
So instead of the Suncash snack bar, it's the Moonlight snack bar?
Something like that, yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess we can head on over there then. I could use a snack.
Yeah, it ain't no cactus oasis, but it'll have to do. Guys, I feel like you got real chummy with a guy here last time, or a friend, as it were. You happen to have their contact info by any chance?
I'm sure I do somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. And you see them pull out their pocket watch, and they adjust a little knob on the side, and a hologram, or a little hollow 3D image appears out of the center of the pocket watch as it pops up out of the screen, and they turn the dial, and you see a series of index cards flick through, and he goes, "It's got to be in my holodecks here somewhere," as he just scrolls through them, and perhaps we should establish a connection. I think that's an action, isn't it? Or am I just making one up?
I believe you are correct. Make a connection.
Make a connection.
So I think,
close enough.
Yeah, same diff.
Yeah.
So when you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, not an ally or companion, roll plus heart. On a strong hit, you create a connection, give them a roll and a rank. Whenever your connection aids you in a move closely associated with the roll, add +1 and take +1 momentum on hit. Weak hit, connection comes at a complication or cost. On a miss, you don't make a connection and the situation worsens, pay the price. Which is honestly, this is one of my favorite things that Ender Friend and I had some disagreements on when we played Base Ironsworn. But we would go up to somebody and we'd be like, my dear friend who I've known for 7 years, we are parched and we would like some water, please. And then when we would roll a miss, and then they were like, haha, just kidding, and then they stab us, right? Like the make the connection roll is like the outset of go to the station and get some fuel is offset by anything could go right or wrong at this stage. So
Yeah.
Or any stage.
Well, I feel kind of bad for making the second roll now, but you
It's
set me up
fine.
for it, 7. So
Nope. It's listen, guys, you're the face.
I don't know how that happened, but no modifiers to this roll. Oof. Only a 3 on the action score with a 9 and 7 on those challenge die. So
Well, now we get to learn about the brand new move.
yeah. So I went from critical success on that action die to a critical failure, 6 to a 1. Oof. Okay, well, pay the price, since I know it's underlined, means that there's a roll for that, isn't it? There's at least a fate move.
Should.
So we can either just do the most obvious thing in the situation, which depending on the time and the instance could be literally anything, right? It could be as simple as like we find a guy but the guy has been like killed or something, or and I think what's more or just not here, or the more interesting thing is you could roll a d100, gallons, and based off of like whatever the result is, we can get a prompt and we can just go from there. And I like asking the Oracle as often as possible because it's a key feature of Ironsworn, but it gets weird sometimes. So
well, in that case then, I leave it to you all. I have an idea, so I will posit my idea, and if we don't like it, we can roll on the table instead. How's that sound?
Sounds perfect.
Cool. So I think Gaz knows a person here, but the last time we left, or maybe Gaz left, since it's currently unestablished whether or not you were with the crew last time he went on an expedition. He left with, so maybe kind of just like maybe not fulfilling a promise to this person. And so they're probably not happy over it, and it's been like several months. Time is a little wishy-washy in Beacon Space because everywhere counts time differently. So it's been several months of this station's time since the gas has been back. So yeah,
I am 1000% in love with that. We had some sort of job that we needed to do last time, and we have definitely not fulfilled it, whether by hook or by crook. Yeah, I'm into that.
Well, I have a name for this person then. But I don't have a species. Do we want this person to be human, or do we want them to be one of the numerous other species that populate Beacon Space as we run into our first, abnormal portion of the adapting Starforged rules?
We should really make an Oracle for that at some point.
We probably should, yes. I have a list of species names if we would like to just roll against it, but it's not balanced in any way. It would just be a flat roll against every species. We wouldn't be like, the fact that we ran into the avian species whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce again, especially not looking at the wiki entry for it, is pretty uncommon to flee their normal sphere of influence. So
I mean, if anybody in either of the chats has a preference, obviously I think we could give it to them first, but otherwise I'm down for you to just roll against all of them, even if it is a little imbalanced for this first time. Let's showcase somebody.
How about we give chat a couple of minutes to come up with it, since it shouldn't impact most of the initial conversation, and we can always add it into the notes. If you need to come up with, and you don't know the list, I will drop a link to the wiki page with the list of species on it in both chats in just a moment. But I'm going to go with Mirza as this person's name.
Ooh.
So, do we think they're there at the Moonlight snack bar as we approach, or are they not there and we need to give them a call? Actually, no, I've got a slightly better thing too. Gaz like finds the index card and pops it up, so it comes up big enough that's like the size of a TV, so a small TV, maybe a monitor, so that Gecko and Sevens can take a look at it as well, and then they like, Gaz like looks up and goes, we have to call them, don't we?
Unless you know where they are right now, yes?
Maybe they're at the snack shop.
Listen, I'm just saying, we're in the neighborhood anyways. Might as well.
Alright, we can give them a call.
It'll be rude not to. You could buy them a snack.
I think I'm gonna have to buy them a little bit more than a snack. But,
Good snack.
Sure. Cool. So I guess Gaz will press the ring button to place a phone call.
And yeah, let's just go ahead and randomly roll against all of the species of the sector.
Sure. Okay, so I need that tab open. So how about somebody other than me make this roll? And
Ooh.
you need to roll 2, 3. You need to roll a d26, please.
It's mine. I'm taking the roll.
You rolled so well earlier. You must have dice luck.
Well. 5
It might
it
be
is.
good.
What was the die roll?
5.
A 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you run into a. It's a Chirpotite. It is a bat-like semi-humanoid with 2 avian legs, 4 torso limbs, the lower 2 being smaller and webbed, and they are widely perceived as a pest, living in the waste management systems of many cities, spaceships, and stations, subsisting on the leavings of other creatures.
Oh my god, did he want us to bring him a bunch of trash?
Oh,
Oh,
that feels perfect, yes.
oh no!
Look, all I'm saying is he probably wants a snack.
He probably does want a snack, but not the type we can buy.
Yeah, we roll up on what was it? The Moonlight.
Moonlight
we
snack
roll
bar.
up on we roll up on the Moonlight snack bar, right? And we're like, okay, you know, like Mirza, meet us here, and Mirza's probably like, I'm already here, and we're like looking around and like, I don't see where he is, and like we hear some rustling in like the back alley behind the diner, and there's just like a like trash bag that's like thrown out, and we hear like some other like sounds as there's like some snuffling back there, and I'm like, Gaz, what's your hollow Rolo whatever say about this guy?
The Holodex?
Yeah, that thing.
Says he's fairly small.
Yeah,
We found
say
him
anything
last
about
time
him.
in the trash cans.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think Seymour, like, you know, cocks back the hammer on his cool space revolver, and like has one hand out and like slowly walks around the corner.
Cool. I think you
which
probably run into Mirza first then?
Yeah, and with the miss, where we did not successfully make a connection, yeah, I don't know. Do we think Mirza's the kind of guy who's like fight first, ask questions later, or I don't know. I don't think generally considered a pest describes that kind of energy, you know.
Probably not. I think if anything, they're probably just startled to see you. And this perhaps raises an interesting question. Were you with Gaz last time when the deal wasn't fulfilled? Or did you newly join the crew and don't know this history?
Ooh. This, yeah, you know what? I think we can establish this as it's the first time that Seymour has gone with Gaz and the crew of the Legacy, right? Yeah, I think it might even be a moment. I also realized I accidentally did Mirza's voice, and maybe I shouldn't have. Does someone else want to take Mirza?
I mean, whichever. We could kind of shift around based on who's talking to Mirza if needed.
Okay. I think then it's probably like a Seymour has his hand out and Mirza's like, I don't want any trouble. I'm just here with the sanitation team on the Eternatus. And I think Seymour's like, yeah, no sweat, but boss man says that you and him go way back, so I'm just gonna help you out of there. And like I think Seymour like holds out a hand and Mirza like maybe bats it away. Um and yeah, I think Mirza, without knowing any additional information, right, is like willing to get out, like brushes themselves off a little bit, and then walks out and sees you guys.
Yeah, so even though they're a Chiroptian, as I was given the correct pronunciation, I think they're well established as like the operator of the fuel depot.
Ooh.
Just to make our luck even worse, like they help manage all of that entire system, as well as recycling and trash duties.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like maybe he like puffs his chest out when he sees you, and he's like, or yeah, maybe they puff their chest out when they see you, and they're like, oh, Gaz, you're in a lot of trouble, punk.
Mirza, it's lovely to see you again.
Don't you lovely to see me, Gaz? Where is the cargo I asked for?
Well, you see, back on Telestation, there's been a whole mess recently. We brought the news with us, so you'll be able to catch up. But there's been all of these new
News?
import and export restrictions. The Children of the Vein have re-emphasized some additional tariffs. There's this whole business with needing to get involved with the Silent Night cargo concerns, and there's all this paperwork involved. And needless to say, it didn't get loaded onto the Legacy.
Yeah, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a whole lot of excuses, Gaz, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of cargo being dropped off at my place. You think you can just come in here and act like everything is A-okay? And I think like he like, kicks with one of his feet, and there's like maybe like a roll of toilet paper for like, comedic effect. But this guy is still really important, right? And he's like, well, what are you gonna do to make it up to me, Gaz? Otherwise I'm gonna ask station security to throw you and yours in the brig. He like points at you guys, and then he points at Sevens. And I'm thinking, just as a off the cuff decision, I don't think Mirza points at Gecko. I don't think they do that.
That's well. I'm sure we can come to some arrangement. I hear you currently have a fuel problem of your own from the automated system notice. So you don't have my fuel, I don't have your cargo. Maybe we're even?
Okay. I think I'm going to maybe roll on a roll on a roll on an oracle myself, because here's what I'm thinking here is that why has Eternatus not gotten their fuel, right? And Mirza is the way that we're learning this. But there's a couple of really cool angles that we could go with this. Like we established at the top, the ship does actually have enough for 2 jumps. But yeah, let's go ahead and do. I think what we'll roll for this will probably be some sort of spaceborne peril or spaceborne opportunity, I'm thinking. something happened while the fuel was in transit, and for whatever reason, maybe that's a part of the complication. So, oh. Do we think we can play with that?
It's the ghost.
Oh no! We're haunted already!
This one feels a little too metaphysical to apply to a lacking fuel problem.
Okay. Let's try maybe the opportunity table then.
They gave away all their fuel.
Yeah, well, no, like maybe that's it, right? Like maybe Eternitas is like too far on the outskirts of known space, right? So maybe somebody has made the truckers union an offer they can't refuse, and so Mirza wants us to try and maybe either, if not talk to them and get it back, steal it back.
Sure.
Yeah, so it would probably go something like, we do all the things here. We do all the things here in Eternitas that we're supposed to do. I get it. You guys, you gotta do a lot of problems with. You gotta deal with a lot of problems with children of the vein tariffs, like you said. But we got our problems out here too, okay? And what would really go a long way to salving my wounds? There's a ship here that was supposed to be bringing us our fuel, and from what I hear is they sold most of it off to a neighboring station. Now you go over there, you maybe rough them up a little, I don't know, you talk to them, you tell them old Mirza sent you, and once there's some more fuel in our station, I make sure you get the first pump of the fuel, you know what I'm saying? And he maybe elbows you.
At the prime rate, I hope.
Well, you haven't gotten me my cargo yet, so the same rate as everybody else. Listen, bud, this is you getting back to square one with me.
It was worth a shot. You don't happen to know the name of that neighboring station, do you? Eternitas is the only one I visit on my way out of onto the fringes of Beacon Space.
Oh yeah,
lie. He's totally visited other stations, but
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely have the name of the new of the other space station right here. It's Nerio. You know how it goes. No accounting for class or for any sort of taste there. That was me rolling on the settlement name table and getting a 54 for the name Nerio. Nerio Station. It's not. Hey, listen. It's not as big. It's not as grand. It doesn't have Mirza. But that's the name of the other station that's been siphoning some of our fuel. So.
What direction would you say it was in?
Galactic West.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the help. We'll be sure to requisition your fuel. Hopefully we won't be too long. I hear the rest of the station's operating alright though, so you don't mind if we go grab a bite to eat first. It's something different than what we serve on the ship is always a welcome sight, especially for the rest of the crew, which you now see slowly filtering out behind us in this conversation, and they're all wearing purple jumpsuits that match the color of Gaz's coat.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think Mirza at this point maybe offers some sort of space bag of bio waste up, and is like, and it's obviously a bit, right? Mirza goes back to doing whatever they were doing previously, and is like, yeah, sure, go do whatever you need. Yeah, I think Seymour holsters his revolver and looks over at Gecko and Gaz.
Wow.
That could have gone worse.
Yeah, now at least we know where the fuel is. Look, at worst we get fuel there.
That thought had crossed my mind. Where is Gecko, considering that they weren't pointed at?
They're probably on the wall, just like carefully above the trash because it's kind of nasty and sticky. And they don't want to have to deal with cleaning that off.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is there anything else people want to do on station then?
I think Gecko will probably go and try and find a general supplies place. Which, how big is this station? Since we didn't quite establish before, is it medium sized? Is it quite large, or is it just like the docking bay, a snack bar, and some miscellaneous booths?
So I think this is one of the this would make sense if it's one of the larger stations, given that it's like the most easiest in theory for them to get resupplied from Beacon Space proper. So I think it probably is reasonable to say the station population is in the hundreds as far as like full-time residents, and if you threw in visiting spaceships, maybe it gets up to 1,000 or so. So there's definitely, bunks available for rent. A general store seems reasonable. Maybe there's a small industrial section that like harvests from the asteroid's end system.
Yeah, so I don't know that this is a particularly dangerous task or anything, so I might just do like a general ask the Oracle to just like 50-50, do I find the supplies I'm looking for or not?
We could also secure an advantage if that's what you're thinking about, Gecko.
That's true. I'm not sure if that would apply in this specific case, just because I'm not looking to set something up for the specific next action.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I suppose Gecko's what ideal thing here would be, we want to get the ship successfully from where we are now to where we're going. So the supplies hopefully would help with that. So I think that does make sense. So yeah, I'll do a secured advantage then.
Gather information would also be an option. Which is when you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research.
I think I'm more looking to for physical stuff here though, so I don't know.
Yeah, secured advantage makes sense then.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think what stat makes sense. I think wits, because expertise is like knowing what parts we're actually looking for.
Yep.
Nice.
So I get weak hit, so I get 1 of +2 momentum or +1 on our next move. So maybe momentum actually just makes more sense here.
I definitely think momentum between the two. Because the situation here is a little...
Go ahead.
It's just a little bit more controlled than the very next thing I need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a time to explain what momentum is.
Oh, yeah.
True. Let me quickly I'm looking for the rulebook definition of it so I can explain it better.
a less helpful and less exact way of thinking about momentum is a lot of TTRPGs like having resources that you can expend based on a situation. Shadowrun has Edge. There's a lot of others that have sort of a buy system. Momentum is sort of Ironsworn's version of that, but I fundamentally like momentum more in that. Let's say you've had like, what is it? What's that quote from Fallout New Vegas? A 7-carat run of bad luck or whatever. Let's assume that you just keep rolling poorly over and over and over again. At the same time, based off of some of your moves and some of the assets that you might have, you might continue to accumulate momentum such that at a certain point in time when you're like, I need this to succeed, you can expend your momentum to increase your overall result or things like that.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it basically. Like Alex's definition, you were much more concise than it is. Basically, it's just that track on the character sheet you'd see at the top. It goes from +10 to -6, and when it's positive, it's good, and you can do things that are unlikely just by spending it, and if it's negative, it gives you penalties and is bad. Because if you have negative momentum, it applies as penalties to your action score dice.
Yeah. And when you burn momentum, you replace the momentum with your action roll?
Mm-hmm. So let's say, you roll a lower score, but you really need this moment to succeed. What you can do is you can burn an amount of momentum, and that will replace the action die roll entirely. So, for example, when we were earlier, let's say the challenge dice were really low, or we desperately needed at least a weak hit. What you could have done in that situation, Gaz, if you had 8 momentum, is you could have burned 8 momentum to say, actually, we pass this with a weak hit anyways. That was just really unfortunate challenge dice on the make a connection roll. Like, woofa doofa, that's a high one.
Yeah. Cool.
Also,
Makes
just
sense.
to clarify, I misexplained negative momentum slightly. It turns out you don't subtract it. If that value matches the value you roll on your action dice, then it cancels that value.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still look at your modifiers then. So it's not quite as bad as just you get a flat minus this to everything you do.
Cool. So what does this advantage look like then? You were searching for a physical item. What is it the Gecko finds?
Let's see. So I think what they were looking for, they were looking for components for the ship, and I think that in this case, they were looking for some, what would it be? Some bit of the ship that is either prone to break or prone to be damaged. You guys have any suggestions?
Maybe it's the terminal display of all of the the monitors around the ship. Maybe that display breaks quite frequently. It was established to look pretty old.
That's true. Yeah, and it's quite important to know how the ship's actually doing, so that seems quite relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they found, if not a whole replacement for this thing, at least the relevant components to be able to repair it should something happen.
Sounds good to me. Sevens, did you have anything specifically to do on station?
I liked the idea of gathering information. I'm not sure if there's really anything else that we can do here. So I think
you could always try to establish another contact. That never goes wrong.
Yeah, I've heard nothing
The rival mob boss.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know what? Mirza can't be the only one here, right? Like, there's got to be, like, maybe they're the one in charge of the fueling depot, right? But there's no way that they're like the head of the station, or maybe we're about to find out they are the head of the station.
Yeah.
So you know what? Yeah.
I think when we left last time they weren't, but who knows?
You can also. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You can also try to like just generally find individuals, like new people you aren't necessarily connected to, which may be a little bit easier since they start neutral to you. Because they just be people around.
Yeah,
what
I'm sure
role
there's been
is
people
that?
in the background of the camera shots as we were having all of these conversations.
That would probably be done through something like gather information, where you're just kind of generally asking around.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, actually, I do like that. Is that in the hopeful make a connection route? Yeah, Seymour, or Sevens is hears all of this, sort of chuckles to himself a little bit, and I think instead of going into the moonlight, I think he leaves, and he finds, for the purposes of like syndicated television, it'd be called like the soda joint, but it's like the cactus, but it's spelled like Kactis, Oasis, and like he opens in the door and he's gonna like buy a round of drinks, talk to people, see what he can find. And for that, I am going to roll gather information. Except I'm so dumb. I don't have any wits whatsoever. So this is going to be a wild time. Why have I done this to myself? Oh, never mind.
Because he rolled like a god.
I'll take it.
It is a strong hit. 6 does beat 5 and 2.
Mm-hmm. With that modifier of +1 for my wits. So yeah, I think I walk in, and it's probably something really straightforward. I think Seymour has the energy of a dissident, right? Of like,
and another thing, you know that Mirza fella? What's their entire deal anyway?
And I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to, maybe you guys can give us what's something specific or helpful on this, for, maybe manipulating Mirza, or like getting some more information, like maybe there's another angle to this we haven't seen.
Sure, we'll take your +2 momentum.
Mm-hmm. And how?
Do you have an idea there, Valeria?
So you're looking. So the information you're looking for is specifically information on Mirza's vulnerabilities versus present situation. Is that accurate?
Yeah, probably. Or like, yeah, you know what? Like what's going on in Mirza's current situation? That like, if Mirza is like if we as the crew of the Legacy just failed a job for him, why is he sending us out on another job immediately after us coming back and telling him we failed the job,
Let's see. So I don't have an immediate idea for this. We could potentially roll on the character table. There's a number of character tables that might be of help. Unless you have an idea, Lich.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. Do you want to do character goal or revealed character aspect? They both sound tempting.
Character aspect sounds appropriate.
Sure. Give that a go. They're reclusive. So...
Oh no, does Mirza just not have any friends?
I'm almost thinking it more like Mirza doesn't want to have to be the one to deal with this stuff. He wants anybody else to deal with this, and if it means he doesn't have to deal with someone as a result of it, all the better. The fact that we've showed up and he doesn't want to deal with that, and we could be sent away to be someone else's problem, fantastic.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I think after I went carousing with the friends, I come back maybe like drunken, slovenly. And Gecko and Gaz, you guys know it's been like half an hour. How has this happened?
You've had 12 drinks in half an hour.
Yeah, I think Sevens like stumbles back and is like, "Guys, I've got great news.
Is this taking place on the ship or in the moonlight?
Oh, I think it'd be wherever you are, right? Like, I think Sevens has enough faculties to know to go to where you are. So, half an hour.
Gaz is back on the ship by that point.
Okay. Yeah, I stumble in. Maybe you hear a bunch of error noises as he incorrectly tries to like enter his code to get into the legacy. And he's like,
and Gaz just hits the button as you like stumble.
Oh my god!
You've
Yes,
gotten it right,
absolutely.
But you really just haven't.
This is actually something they've done multiple times before.
Seymour doesn't actually know the door coding.
Not drunk Sevens anyway.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna write that down as a note on my character sheet, but that's besides the point.
I'm sure it'll never come up as a problem.
Nope.
Doesn't know access code to the IFS Legacy.
Totally has one.
Yeah, definitely has one assigned to 7. Yeah. Guys, I've got great news. Mirza doesn't know. Can I say shit from Shinola? What is the actual origin of that phrase?
I've never heard it.
Okay, let me hold up 1 second.
Mirza's got no idea. Got it.
Yep. Mirza doesn't know anything about what's going on past this station. If we negotiate a deal that gets him the fuel and a discount from Nerio, no one's gonna tell Mirza. We can just get the fuel from there, get it over here if we even want to do that part. Mirza's nobody and nothing. We're good. And like Seymour slaps you on the back, maybe a little too hard.
Gaz just gives a wry smile and goes, perhaps we should get the crew back on board then and set off.
Yeah.
Before things get more disorderly.
Perhaps now would be a good time for a break as the crew reassembles.
Indeed.
Cool. Well, it's been an interesting exploration of the Eternatus station so far. Let's see what trouble we get up to next, heading out to Nero Station as we take a brief 5-minute break. We'll be back shortly.
Catch you all very soon. Okay, my side is on break.
This week on Kangaroo Court, did slippery celebrity defendant baby TV anchor Elle Calvert conspire to poison the prosecution? Watch now on Kangaroo Court, where good justice is never blind. Fair and balanced, only on BBTV5. Brought to you by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
Silent Night Cargo Concerns. We invite travelers to the sector of the brilliant world of Tellus. Be it for business or pleasure, Silent Night provides swift and secure transit for visitors of the Center system. Cutting through the red tape, our dedicated teams will make sure your passes and permits are squared away so that you don't have to mess with the hassle of bureaucracy in your travel plans. Our services go beyond simply for your person. As our name implies, we handle a wide range of cargo concerns, be it a porter service that can get your holiday bags straight to your hotel room, to providing storage facilities, or even negotiating bulk goods through local customs. We've got you covered. Through our affiliates in Falufo Kaliki, we offer half-hourly shuttle services from the bountiful TTGI station to the planet's many floating cities. Safe and reliable service is vital to the health of our clients, and that is why the security travelers and their cargo is our top priority in the void space of the Center system. Call now to ask about our Guardian Protection Package.
Become healthier. Become stronger. Become smarter. Become better. At New Eden Gene Bank, we offer plans and opportunities for people like you who want to break their limits and rise to new heights. Visit your local branch today for a consultation. New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Proud sponsors of BBTV.
Across the sector, there are so many worlds, each with their own story. But during the hustle and bustle of daily life, there's rarely enough time to get things done as it is, let alone dream of far-off vistas. That's why we've done the hard work for you. As part of the Aguamala Syndicate's project and Ziti, a plethora of new travel destinations have been identified for even the most novice traveler. Visit one of Fortuna's 5 cities for a day of shopping in the bazaar, or travel Gom's icy peaks to see its breathtaking views. A fan of forests, El Arpon offers hiking trails through unique biomes that will fascinate even the most experienced travelers. Quetzalcoatl's ruins are sure to be a hit with those looking for a fantastic photography experience, and for those more inclined for a trip to the high life, Calypso's resorts provide an ideal luxury getaway. Whatever your interests, we're sure that we can help you plan your perfect vacation. Brought to you by the Aguamalan Board of Tourism.
Are you looking for that perfect island getaway? The destination vacation of your dreams? Then Telos is the place for you. Visit the floating cities of Telos, modern marvels of nature and engineering from the great minds of Kartakuk and Helicitis, built on the backs of gentle jellyfish giants. Experience the wonders of life like never before as the tropical paradise comes alive to serve you. A city of living green traveling over blue horizons where you don't become one with nature, but nature becomes one with you. From riding on the backs of whales and dragonflies to lounging on gentle lily pads and inside of fragrant flowers, or a million other things in between, there's always something for you on Telos. Telos, a world made for you.
Welcome back to Beacon Space Rediscovery as we head on off into our second segment of Session 1 here. As the camera fades back in from its appropriately themed commercials, we hear a voice with coming on over the intercom system of the ship.
IFS Legacy, this is the Eternius station. Marking for departure vectors following the Alpha Gamma protocol.
And the Legacy starts up and flies off. Now, I think we have some things to do with that.
We do. So, first
Except we wanted to mark something on the refueling the ship.
Yeah, so reach a milestone. When you make headway in your quest, by doing any of the following, and then it lists a number of things that you can do to make progress on a quest. You can mark progress according to the rank of the vow. Now, for dangerous, I'm trying to remember what the progress marking is. Is that on the vow page?
It looks like if I just press the mark button, it adds the correct number of marks.
Fantastic!
Look at the sheet being all nicely automated.
Because I was fully ready to go look that up because I did not remember.
It is 2 marks, by the way, for dangerous.
Okay.
2 complete marks. So that's filled in on the ship's page. And somebody mentioned perhaps needing to make the some move regarding a journey as we got underway here.
Yes, the undertake an expedition move. When you trailblaze a route through perilous space, journey over hazardous terrain, or survey a mysterious site, give the expedition a name and rank, and for each of the segments, do a number of things. So, this particular expedition, given it's to an established station over not known but traveled routes, it's probably not terribly difficult, I would have to imagine. We don't know exactly where it is. So would you guys say troublesome or dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
I
think troublesome for sure, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Does this have a separate place to keep?
It looks like this is just and maybe there's something on the ship page for it. Doesn't look like it.
If you go to the progress page.
Progress.
Yeah, if you add, it'll add a tracker.
Ah, and what is the difference here between that and a vow?
I think it's the trackers work in the same way. It's just the vows mechanically are treated differently, so to keep them separate.
Got it. So one is just like a progress clock, and the other one is the mechanical goal thing that we call a vow. Got it.
Correct. They just happen to work in a very similar way.
So this is the expedition to Nero Station.
Yep.
Or Nereo, I guess is the pronunciation might be.
I have never regretted anything as much as me just trying to update these subtitles live on air. You would have thought I'd learned my lesson from last time. But...
That's why I said do it next stream.
No, you definitely advised me intelligently. I, however, am a fool with my hubris.
Well, I'll continue to stall to give you some time to fix that then.
Sorry, this is just an explanation for why I have gone completely stone silent.
Also,
No worries.
welcome to all the lovely viewers of chat. I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, hey, Fafnir. Thanks for coming in. Sorry, okay.
I think that means I need to take a role here to undertake an expedition. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, unless you would rather one of us do it.
I'm happy to make the role.
Okay.
Let's see. This feels like we should stay vigilant here rather than moving at speed or keeping under the radar.
Yeah, because it's mostly just we don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Alright, so I want to be staying vigilant, so rolling plus wits. No other modifier though. I'm having really bad die luck, but that is still a weak hit.
Hey.
So I rolled a 4, or I guess I rolled a 1, but that's a total of a 4 for the action score, and then a 2 and a 4 on the challenge dice. So on a weak hit, we reach a waypoint. We need to envision the location and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. However, this progress costs us. I either have to choose one, suffer costs and route, so make a suffer move, or 2 suffer moves, or face a peril at the waypoint and envision what you encounter. So go make mark progress on our expedition. 3 bars. Got it. And there's a suffer move, apparently. Let's go find that.
So I think suffer moves are a category. I'm trying to figure out what the -2 as opposed to -1 is, though. That's the bit that's throwing me off.
I'm wondering if it is with a -2 modifier on the roll.
I think it's with the modifier, yeah.
Ah.
So I can either make 1 roll at a -2 or 2 rolls at a -1 each.
Okay, so the
That's how
suffer
I'm reading
move.
it. I may be wrong.
Yes, the suffer moves are lose momentum, endure harm, and endure stress. So I guess you get to pick which would be most applicable. So I don't know if we want to determine the location of the waypoint first, so we can kind of work from there.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean,
Somebody
does it
other
make
than me should
sense?
figure out where we arrive.
I mean, I made up Naria Station, so I'm throwing this one your way, dear friend.
Well, I have this button here called Stellar Object that I can push.
Wow.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh no.
I hit the name. This is the actual thing. A smoldering red star. Well, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Great. So I think then I'm gonna establish a name for the Neither one of you have taken the comms position, have you?
No.
No, definitely not.
Right, well, I'm gonna establish the name then of the our comm expert, who in her purple jumpsuit has a little I don't know, I guess a pin with the emblem rank on it, and it has 2 vertical stripes to indicate that they're slightly better than the rest of the purple shirts. As we get to hear a call out over the systems then.
As a red star, it appears to be smoldering out to the forward of the ship. I'm gonna advise we steer clear of it. We wouldn't want to be cooked today.
And I think that's our comms expert, Haley.
Of course, our good friend Haley.
Unless somebody wants to suggest otherwise.
No, sorry. That's listen, here's an adage that is about Ironsworn. If you name an NPC, there will come a point in time in which they pull out something bonkers on you.
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying, Haley, I'm sure we're definitely going to be friends with no problems in the long run.
No, why would you think that? So what do we run into? A smoldering red star?
Yes.
And so I'm assuming. Oh, sorry.
No, I was that was a thinking sound. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I'm assuming we're taking the suffer move, or are we going for the face of peril at the waypoint?
I think the suffer move makes sense here.
Yeah, so the 3 options are lose momentum, endure harm, and endure stress. I don't know that endure harm makes sense here.
Haley takes Gaz's head and bashes it against the captain's console.
I feel like lose momentum just makes sense here.
Yeah, because we're just trying to figure out where we're going.
So I think that's -2 momentum then?
Yeah. Because this is kind of a general one. When you're delayed or disadvantaged, suffer -1 momentum for a minor setback, -2 for a serious setback, or 3 for a major setback.
Oh, this feels like just a serious setback, so I'll go to a momentum of +1 then.
Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
anything else of note at this smoldering red star?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's leave it to chance.
Sure.
In before the Uzang Vong or the
It
board.
says no. The dice says no.
Fair
There's nothing else interesting here.
enough.
All right. Perhaps Haley comes back over the comms then and goes,
Scanners report a clear sector. We should move on.
Alright, cool. So then I think we just roll for the next waypoint.
sure. I think Gaz is going to probably turn to Gecko and go, you mind taking control for the next bit? I could use a rest.
Sure. I will go more that way. Points in random direction forward of where we're going.
Sounds great. Hopefully you'll have better luck at finding the station than I did. As Gaz will leave the bridge.
Okay. I just need to quickly double check. I don't think I have anything that helps me with this, but I'm not 100% sure. I in fact do not. Very cool.
The best I had was an advantage to the roll from my from the having high wits, so that was it.
Gaz, where do you go when you leave the bridge?
I think Gaz is heading towards probably towards the mess hall first to fix the time appropriate meal, and then plans to retire to his cabin.
Do we think it's safe to say Seymour probably has some sort of is at a security console of some sort?
That seems reasonable. Yep.
I think Seymour is just he has one of the little if we were being uncharitable to the set design team, it's like a little CRT monitor. But I think he just has it flicking, so it's constantly got Gaz in vision as Gaz is moving to and fro. So
Does Gaz know that this thing happens, or is it a secret from them?
I don't think Seymour has ever told Gaz, but if Seymour is smart enough to hide it from the rest of the crew, I don't know. This could be a bit of a give and take. I don't think anybody on the crew
has told Gaz yet either. Then I don't think they. Okay. I don't think they want to rock that boat.
Alright, cool. So, just for a note on future expeditions, I think the internal refit module does help expedition rolls, the first one we do, so we should remember to include that for future expeditions.
It was just offline. We hadn't fully booted up
Yeah.
the ship yet.
Look, sometimes you just have to remember that you have things. So I will also continue to. I'll do the Undertaken expedition again, continuing to stay vigilant. Alright.
Another weak hit?
Yeah, similarly, it's a lot of wandering.
A 7 on the action score against a 3 and a 9.
Yep. So, I think similar thing. Just a lot of going one way, finding nothing, going another way, finding nothing. Let's see what we find at this waypoint. I'll do space sighting this time.
Feels appropriate.
There are categories in this. I don't know what any of them are, so I'm gonna go with the first one.
Sure. Oh.
Of settlement.
Oh, dang.
Is this a settlement on a planet, or an asteroid, or a space station?
I'll roll on the location table, I guess. It's an orbital settlement.
So around some sort of planet, for sure, for sure.
Or a moon. One of the two.
Nope, true.
I'm fine with a planet.
I guess it could. It could
it's a
also
gas
be
giant.
orbiting a star. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I haven't actually gone very far. It's orbiting this red star.
Well, it's not Nereo Station, is it?
Do we want to roll to see if it is Nereo Station?
It would feel appropriate to check whether or not it is our intended destination.
Yeah, because if it is, we could try to finish the expedition and just make the end the expedition roll.
Mhm.
That feels appropriate. We should maybe we should just flip a coin. I don't know.
Sure, you want to do that?
Sure. Why not?
Well, we do have 6 progress, right? So.
Yep.
We do have 6 progress. We could try the finish an expedition move then.
Mhm.
If
How
you
about we
wanted.
go for it? We do need to take the disadvantage though from the weak hit first, probably just to be
Yes.
complete.
Yes. Which? Oh, that is what I wanted to ask. So, when we lose momentum on expedition, are we losing that from everybody or just the person doing the action at that moment? Just so we're consistent.
I would assume just the person taking the action.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I will go down to 2 momentum. Alright, cool. I have that marked. So yeah, we can just try finishing the expedition. So that works a little bit different than a normal roll. In that instead of rolling action dice, you roll just the challenge dice, compare them to your progress on the quest. So we have 6 ticks right now. So we could try to make more progress to make it more likely that we will succeed, or we could chance it now and kind of see how it goes.
Well, we've run into an orbital settlement. I think chancing it to see if we're successful and this is the correct settlement is a good thing.
That's I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page of how this worked.
Mhm. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Hey!
Nice.
So we've got 6 progress against a 4 and a 1 on the challenge dice. So a strong hit.
So actually, it turns out it was Nereo Station.
I'm gonna redraw this map slightly.
Nereo Station. Congratulations. Does Gecko recognize that they found the station right away, or do they just think it's some random station?
I think at first I don't know how much Gecko realizes initially that it's the right station. They're just like, oh, that looks like like a station. Maybe they'll know where we're supposed to be going. And then getting closer, it's like, ah, yes, I totally meant to be here all along.
Nice.
Yeah, I think once they realize it isn't the right thing, they will kind of go around and start notifying the members of the crew, like, hey, we're almost here. Get ready. Don't know what we're gonna find on here.
Nice. Well, we should all tack a box on the legacy track with 1 tick. For having a strong hit on this expedition. We should do that before we forget.
Yeah, so it's so it was troublesome, so we just get 1 tick.
Yep. Which it looks like as a slash.
Yeah, it's just the 1 line. So be like, you do like an
If
X
the mark
and then...
button does that correctly.
It does. It does.
Oh,
Nice. Look at the sheet being well automated. Cool. That looks like that is just the result of the expedition. And we have reached our destination.
Yep, we are now at the station.
Perfect.
What's the situation at the station, other than the fact that we know some ship is here with the fuel that was supposed to be at Eternatus Station?
Let's go ahead and knock out a first look roll for Neria, which is rustic architecture. And I think that's probably going to be rustic in the like science fiction futuristic sense, not the not the like settler kind of vibe. I'm imagining a lot of rust. I'm imagining a lot of sort of like God, we hope it's not duct tape protecting us against the empty vacuum of space, but also maybe it is duct tape. And I think that's the thing with Neria Station, is that it's very sort of like ramshackle and almost sort of destitute. And I think Seymour looks very comfortable there. I think he's probably whistling something as he takes those first steps onto the gangway. So.
Sure. Are you heading off first, or waiting for the rest of us to follow?
Yeah, I think Seymour probably steps out, scans the area to make sure that there's not any sort of problem, and then we'll just sort of stay at attention until Gaz and Gecko come out.
Sure. I don't think it takes that long for Gaz to come join you then. They look a little sleepy, but that's all right.
I think Gecko clambers after, looking around for anything that looks interesting or out of the ordinary. But since it's rustic, I have to imagine they're a little bit disappointed that it's just very ordinary buildings and shops, that sort of thing. They're like, oh man, I thought we were going somewhere cool. We've just gone to another town.
I think this is probably smaller than Eternatus Station as well. Probably significantly so.
Maybe it's so much so, yeah, that the duty roster is comprised of like maybe 10 people, right? Like I think Neria Station, I think the thing, right, like when Gecko is like, oh, we're at a station? I think the IFS Legacy's shipboard computers don't even recognize Neria Station, right? Like maybe that in addition with its ramshackle look. Oh, you know what? Maybe Neria Station is like made out of like the derelict like leftovers of like other spaceships that were in the area, so much so they were like stapled together, right? Like sort of like a pirate ship city sort of energy.
That's cool with me.
Yeah, like you look at it and you're like, Is that a station, or is it just more space trash? And Gecko's like, please be space trash, please be space trash. I wanna look at cool stuff.
So I think that's actually why the shipboard's computer didn't recognize it at first, because it's overloaded with all of these old transponders. So we keep thinking that it's all these old ships. Poor Haley having a time sorting through that.
It's like, none of these are real. Not even one.
There's not even a real Nero station thing here.
So here's a question for you, Xavier. I'm thinking, do you have in mind any factions that you want to have a presence out here on the edge of Beacon Space, or do we want to roll up our first faction?
I don't have a factions in mind specifically, but I probably have a trucker company, since we said this was the connection there.
Perfect. I'd love that, yeah.
1 second, I need to go open my... navigate to my doc that is not on the wiki yet to pull a name from this. I do need to know, though, do we think we're on the frontier to the north, south, east, or west of our existing Beacon Space map? And if you don't know, you're welcome to just roll.
I was just going to say Galactic East, but, you know, I'm down to roll as well.
I'm fine with whichever, because it'll be unknown regardless of what direction it's unknown in.
Wait, which space is closest to the Aquamala City? No, sorry.
That would be east, like you already said.
East, yeah, that would happen to be east.
Galactic East was ingrained in my soul.
Apparently.
It's not super close regardless, but it is technically closer.
Well, the edge of the map is pretty far away. That's
right, that was my point.
So, okay. Where you're going with closer to Agomala space than Concord space, then, between the two.
Yes.
Got it. So, as we approach, then, I think maybe we back up slightly from Gaz being on the gangplank with Sevens, and instead we see them like walking to join you as they're flicking through their the hologram display of their pocket watch again, and they go, I have to go deal with individuals from Madra and Daughters again. They just always think they're so much better than the rest of us running cargo. It's... well, I'll have to remind everyone to be on their tip-top behavior. As they, like, come out to join the two of you. Here's the spelling of that, by the way.
Perfect. I was just gonna say, you know I'm always on my best behavior, but who are these folk?
Madra and Daughters, they're a corporate-style truckers union, mostly serving the regions of space controlled by Agomala Syndicate and the Larkspur Combine. They like to think of themselves as better than the rest of us running cargo.
I mean, they do a good job, you have to admit, right? I mean, listen, I'm not saying...
Absolutely, they run a near-perfect operation, except for the fact that they just can't manage to be polite about it.
Well, maybe we just don't mention the crates that didn't get on our ship and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. As
Okay,
we step into what is maybe the like single room space station. It's like it's just one giant room.
Yeah, that's actually, now that I think about it, isn't it a little bit weird that a fueling frigate or whatever from Marja and Daughters would deign to go to Nerio Station if they feel like they're better than everyone else? Like, surely going to a place this far down the chain would be insulting to them.
It would be quite uncouth, yes.
Maybe they're engaging in something called space crime.
What?
I'm just gonna say maybe they didn't want anyone to see, so they came to the one place no one would ever look. The middle of nowhere.
I mean, I actually really like that. Do we think the fueling vessel didn't just contain fuel, but maybe there was something else going? Maybe, right? Oh my god. What if Marja and Dautiers was redirected because they're like dumping... Okay, you can tell me if this is too gruesome. What if they're dumping dead bodies?
A fueling vessel feels a weird way to transport those.
I mean...
Dude, that's...
No.
It's a little far out there, but, you know.
This is why it's a collaborative storytelling process. So you guys can tell me when I'm too far off my rocker. Okay.
I don't know that it's like too gruesome or anything. I feel like there's more convenient ways to do that.
No, fair.
Maybe they're smuggling bleed infused crystals.
Ooh. Okay. Now none of us are equipped to deal with something like that. So I'm very on board.
Just don't eat them.
Yeah, I mean, they should be perfectly harmless to us.
Okay. Yeah, no, I am super game. So the thing that's happening here with Nerio Station, we see the Marja and Dautiers fueling vessel out front. And you know, sort of like if there was that camera shot of like what's going on in the background, it would be these crates that have like these warnings sort of scrawled all over them, maybe not in an official capacity, but yeah, informing us that there are bleed infused crystals inside. Yeah, no, I am so game for that.
Cool. Well, I guess... Who do we go engage with first? The captain of this vessel, or...?
I guess I like I said, I wasn't even sure it was a station till we got here. It looks like just a bunch of cool bits, and it's someone's house, and that's very sad.
It does.
Yeah.
As like Gaz looks around, it does just kind of feel like we've intruded on somebody's property.
They don't even have like a
coincidentally
sign.
at that moment, a like neon sign pops up that says Nero Station. Just
there's the sign.
Yeah, just to prove it is actually a station.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of this place ain't worth the amount of air it takes to speak their name. Let's go find out what's going on with this shit.
Don't say it too loud. They can probably hear you.
What are they gonna do? Throw me in the brig? It's in the same room.
They have all the fuel. They have all the shh.
I think at that moment, you wanna... Does this game have a notion of like a luck roll of whether or not somebody did actually hear you?
I mean, I think that's just doing one of the how likely is something to have occurred oracles.
Yeah. I think let's say for the purposes of comedy, it was likely that it would have happened. Yeah.
Yes. Very small room.
It is. It has been established. It's a well. I think
Well, all right,
as,
there we go.
so I think as you say that, then you hear a small voice peep up that like probably from you like don't even see who it's coming from at first, as the individual is like below your eyesight. As you hear, oh, how rude.
Sorry? Who said that? Yeah, like, Sevens looks around and then looks down.
Yep, down here. I'm Ravina. I'm the station owner. Welcome to Nero Station.
Hello.
Yeah.
Would you like a tour? It's not very grand yet, but it is my station.
Sure, we will have a tour. Do you have a brochure or a map or something?
You get bombarded with a bunch of digital emails containing all kinds of links. Most of them are broken. And it's if you like actually start to parse through them, it's just the floor plans of all of the existing ships that were merged together. There you go. You can have fun looking through those.
I think Gecko like visually they're just like basically like wiping their eyes, like they're trying to bat it all away.
Makes sense.
That's a lot. Yes.
Is Ravenna a Quetzal?
That feels comical just because they don't normally leave Kartakuk, so yes. A green and cyan Quetzal.
Perfect. Oh, the only reason why is like I'm trying to avoid so hard Sevens being like, yes. Like I'm friends with Quetzals. You should let me get away with this. But I feel like that's what Sevens would do in this situation. Yeah, I think it'd be something like, oh, sorry, friend, didn't realize you're just far away from Kartakuk, so I just figured, there'd be a different standard of hospitality. You know how rugged we frontier folk get. And I think like Sevens like leans down and like tries to pat Ravenna on the shoulder.
I think they dodge your pats.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps after the tour. The station's still quite under construction. As you can see,
Sure.
They lead the group about 10 steps to the left. They go, this is going to be the cafe. We haven't quite decided on a name yet, and the ovens are still being installed, but there's cereal.
Is it colorful? What do you look for in cereal?
It is quite colorful. It's from Kartakuk, so it's quite squishy, but that's
Oh.
It kind of looks almost sponge-like.
How long have you been building this station? Did you get here like recently?
Yes, quite recently. And they like take another 5 steps over and like point up. They go, this was my contribution, and it's a very small personal fighter craft that's been merged in.
I see. It all makes sense now.
So they go up. Well, over there, and they like point across the way. That's where you all came from. That's the docking bay, and we've got 2 ships docked now. It's amazing.
Oh no! Ravenna, actually, that's a part of the reason why we're here. We've been led to believe that, y'all had a shipment of fuel come out this way?
We did! It was perfectly timed. We were in need of fuel, so we didn't run out of oxygen. It's been fantastic.
Well,
I guess maybe in their case, water. I don't know. Unclear.
I've got bad news in that that fuel was the rightful property of the Eternitas station, and my boss here and I, gesturing at Gaz, have been hired to get some of that back. Now, to be clear, and like Sevens holds up his hand, we're not too fussed about how that fuel gets back into our ship. Now, if it's by Nerio Station or by Eternitas Station, we don't mind. But some of that fuel is rightfully property of the IFS Legacy.
I think Ravina just looks confused the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to become obvious they actually have no idea how to operate a station. And they just maybe have claimed this space.
Is anyone else here, or is it just you?
There are a few others around. They help weld the ships together, and well, they've got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah, can you just take us to the other ship real fast?
Oh, sure. Let me take you to the captain.
Mm-hmm. And
Cassia.
Nice.
Somebody else should probably voice them as Ravina hands them off.
What species is Casey? I will attempt to voice them.
Probably just human.
That's fine. We haven't had any normal humans so far.
Yep.
So I think as Arena leads you over to the other ship, kind of rather ordinary looking woman and kind of like not shabby, but like definitely worn, like traveler's outfit, pokes their head out of the ship like, who's out there? Saw another ship docked.
Hello, yes. It's I'm Gaz, the captain of the IFS Legacy.
Right. Welcome to the station. You stayed long? You got the tour, I hope?
We did get quite the tour. It's actually we're wondering what happened to drive you all out here. We were told by Eternitas Station that they were expecting a delivery from, I assume, you all.
Well, we were gonna go there, and then instead we thought maybe there could be other opportunities that might make us a bit more, able to decide who got the cut of what, Me and my crew don't make a lot usually, and this seemed like a good place to make some plans. Lots of new up-and-comers.
Gaz looks around at the nearly empty station.
It's work in progress. You gotta start somewhere. Gotta get in at the ground floor.
I see, even though there's apparently not much people here with the ability to pay for expensive goods.
Well, you gotta have the goods to get people to come here to want to buy them. You're here, it's clearly working.
We're only here because Eternitas Station is upset that the fuel isn't there.
I mean, the reason you're here is you're here regardless. My point stands.
Gaz looks slightly disappointed.
So, you said you're looking to buy some fuel?
Acquire may be in a more appropriate form, but I suppose if you're selling, we may be able to come to an arrangement.
That's what I like to hear. I don't know what the money they would be using.
I believe there's just an abstract money in this system, right?
Mm-hmm. So it is just supply, and abstracted further out to money. But I think this is the fun thing about us doing rediscovery. Every zone will have made up money. So what word, Gecko? What word to Alaria feels like a word some fantasy race or some science fiction race could have for money?
They're called they're I can't call them that. Look, the first thing that came to mind was narrow coins, and they can't be called that.
Why can't they be called that?
I don't know. Because I don't want it to be space crypto, but maybe it's space crypto.
I mean...
Well, you gotta get in on the ground floor of the station.
I suppose that's true. Sure, they can be called narrow coins.
Yeah, listen, Captain Kaisa, this is not to demean the Nario coins nor your up-and-coming establishment here.
Best not be.
Oh no! She's really deep in the blockchain. No. Listen, what I'm trying to say here is, could you consider? Right? I'm not saying that we're here to take back the fuel by forceful. But I am
not saying that.
I am saying that Eternitas sent us over here for a very specific goal in mind. Now, I value my life, as does the captain. But the next couple of spacefaring folks might not be so self-interested. If you catch my feeling. Now, you give us some of the fuel that was rightfully bound for Eternitas. We bring it back there. There's no harm, no foul, right? And Seymour sort of like shifts and puts his hand near the holster for his revolver.
This is starting to feel like you should make a compel roll.
Yeah.
Plus iron.
No.
Seems like that feels
Big
rather threatening / inciting.
Yeah. How influenced is this definitely not crypto salesperson on this random station in the middle of nowhere?
So when you make a compel roll, it's when you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, envision your approach. If you charm, pacify, encourage, or barter, roll plus heart. Threaten or incite, roll plus iron. Lie or swindle, roll plus shadow. So of course, again, I am threatening them.
You are.
So that is going to be with iron. And we'll see what we will see. You know what? Okay, with the challenge dice being a 7 and a 9,
yeah, that's pretty good.
I will take a weak hit on an 8. Holy shit.
Honestly, a weak hit is probably the most interesting option out of compel, so let's see.
So on a weak hit, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, but their agreement comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counteroffer. So, Kaisa, give us the counteroffer.
I think I'm gonna roll for this character's goal, just so I can come up with an appropriate counteroffer.
Yeah, I'm into it.
That does track. That does track. Her goal is rebel against power.
Oh no.
Well, maybe I could be persuaded, but you know, I'm not a big fan of Eternus Station thinking they could just send people here to try and take back the things that they want. They're not here. They're not in charge here. I'm just saying, maybe they should keep it in their lane. You know what I mean? This one time, sure, little mistake, but we're setting up a nice little station here, and our business is our business. You know?
I think Sevens, turns to Gecko and Gaz and is like, yeah, 1 second, Captain. Give us a moment to confer. And I think Seymour comes over to Gaz and maybe grabs Gaz by one of his lapels and pulls him close to whisper. The scent of alcohol on his breath, right? And he goes, Gaz, you thinking you want to get involved in this kind of thing? Because I'm just saying, I'm not the betting sort on Captain Kaiser or nothing, but if they're taking on a bigger fish, maybe they could use some hired guns. And with the one hand that's not holding the lapel, Seymour does a little finger gun, pushes it up against his chest and pretends to hit into him.
Maybe we should just leave them with some food as a good trade. They're gonna need that if they're establishing a station.
Oh, come on, boss. Sevens looks over at Gecko.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not. They might be able to help us out, but there are only 3 people here.
Yeah, I think Seymour, or I think Sevens looks very disappointed, right? And takes the finger gun up to his mouth, pretend blows out the smoke from the pretend barrel, and pretends to holster it, and is like, fine, we'll do it your way, boss.
Yeah,
I did appear to be slightly outvoted.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure Gecko was saying that this station does not have enough people.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's they're only really little. They're just gonna die. I don't want to make them die.
So she's saying we don't incite an armed, violent altercation between Nerio and Eternus.
I'm saying we don't do it now. Maybe they need more than 3 guys.
Perhaps we'll just settle on the counteroffer of some food then.
Okay.
So perhaps we have to take a -1 to our supplies in exchange for retrieving Eternatus's fuel supply.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the resupply roll, even though we technically haven't lost any supplies, but it's the closest thing that makes sense to me. When you attempt to bolster your readiness, envision the opportunity in your approach. If you barter or make an appeal, roll plus heart, and I think that's the one that we're doing.
Are we rolling on resupply here, or are we just sacrificing resources as the
sacrifice resources is a
condition
move.
of the minor hit or weak hit?
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
So I think just a -1 there seems reasonable.
Yeah, I think if you go back to Kaisa, she's a little. I guess disappointed is the right word, because you kind of saw that, the spark in your eyes, yes! But she won't really protest, because they do need the food. And, I don't know, she can try this the next group that shows up. You going away and not causing a fight, honestly, isn't the worst resolution she could have anticipated.
Yeah. So perhaps we see the crew of the IFS Legacy shuffling some food and fuel back and forth as the scene fades out to commercials, and we take another short break.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well,
See you all soon.
in a few minutes.
This week on Kangaroo Court, did slippery celebrity defendant baby TV anchor Elle Calvert conspire to poison the prosecution? Watch now on Kangaroo Court, where good justice is never blind. Fair and balanced, only on BBTV 5. Brought to you by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you.
Silent Night Cargo Concerns. We invite travelers to the sector of the brilliant world of Telos. Be it for business or pleasure, Silent Night provides swift and secure transit for visitors of the center system. Cutting through the red tape, our dedicated teams will make sure your passes and permits are squared away so that you don't have to mess with the hassle of bureaucracy in your travel plans. Our services go beyond simply for your person. As our name implies, we handle a wide range of cargo concerns, be it a porter service that can get your holiday bags straight to your hotel room, to providing storage facilities, or even negotiating bulk goods through local customs. We've got you covered. Through our affiliates in Falufo Kaliki, we offer half-hourly shuttle services from the bountiful TTGI station to the planet's many floating cities. Safe and reliable service is vital to the health of our clients, and that is why the security travelers and their cargo is our top priority in the void space of the center system. Call now to ask about our Guardian Protection Package.
Become healthier. Become stronger. Become smarter. Become better. At New Eden Gene Bank, we offer plans and opportunities for people like you who want to break their limits and rise to new heights. Visit your local branch today for a consultation. New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Proud sponsors of BBTV.
Across the sector, there are so many worlds, each with their own story. But during the hustle and bustle of daily life, there's rarely enough time to get things done as it is, let alone dream of far-off vistas. That's why we've done the hard work for you. As part of the Aguamala Syndicate's project and Ziti, a plethora of new travel destinations have been identified for even the most novice traveler. Visit one of Fortuna's 5 cities for a day of shopping in the bazaar, or travel Gom's icy peaks to see its breathtaking views. A fan of forests? El Arpon offers hiking trails through unique biomes that will fascinate even the most experienced travelers. Quetzalcoatl's ruins are sure to be a hit with those looking for a fantastic photography experience, and for those more inclined for a trip to the high life, Calypso's resorts provide an ideal luxury getaway. Whatever your interests, we're sure that we can help you plan your perfect vacation. Brought to you by the Aguamalan Board of Tourism.
Are you looking for that perfect island getaway? The destination vacation of your dreams? Then Telos is the place for you. Visit the floating cities of Telos, modern marvels of nature and engineering from the great minds of Cartacook and Helicitis, built on the backs of gentle jellyfish giants. Experience the wonders of life like never before as the tropical paradise comes alive to serve you. A city of living green traveling over blue horizons where you don't become one with nature, but nature becomes one with you. From riding on the backs of whales and dragonflies to lounging on gentle lily pads and inside of fragrant flowers, or a million other things in between, there is always something for you on Telos. Telos, a world made for you.
Welcome back to Beacon Space Rediscovery as we get set on our final hour or so here. It seems like things have settled on up on the station, so anything else to do here? We already got the tour, so feels like
I think we're good.
I think so. Let's go ahead and mark some progress then on our quest. Whoop. That feels like too many marks.
I mean, it's just a danger.
There we
right?
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should have been +2.
Yeah, I think you just hit it twice, maybe.
Yep. That's what it seems like. Anyway, it's been fixed now. So. Cool. But I don't think there's anything else to do here yet.
So I guess we're probably just heading back unless there's some complication while getting the fuel on the ship, which seems rather unlikely.
Well,
Oh,
feels like you could ask the Oracle.
It's true.
oh no, Seymour was smoking and then accidentally flipped the butt of his cigarette into the fuel pipe.
I don't think it's flammable fuel in that same way. Nice try, though.
I feel like
Dang it.
I feel like it's unlikely that something goes wrong, right?
I would agree.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It was unlikely, but it still happened.
Okay,
Well, what went wrong?
I didn't actually have an idea of what I was so sure it wouldn't happen, and of course that
That's you're not able to be so sure that nothing's gonna go wrong. That's when it all goes wrong.
Yeah, I should have known that was coming.
Well, maybe this is a settlement trouble then.
That would make sense. Let's see what the settlement troubles are. Let's roll one.
Find out.
Hazardous environment, so true.
Oh no! Mario Station starts falling apart while we're on it.
So I think perhaps that is what happens, and you start hearing the an alert, and we get
Warning. Hull breach detected. Pressurization loss imminent. Please find back suits.
That sounds bad.
bad for us organics. Perhaps we should just rush back to our ship.
I mean, that seems kind of mean. I mean, rush back to get suits. Yes, that's fine. But just.
You could join us.
But then everybody will die.
Right. I suppose that's a fair point. Ravina, do you have a pressure suit? Or just some way to fix the incoming pressurization loss?
And I think for this, this is going to be not. What I want to do is I want to tie this into secure and advantage, so that way we can get some momentum and some +1 to future rolls.
Sure.
If that makes sense for you guys, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and roll secure an advantage as I try and get a environmental suit.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to roll with?
Oh no. For all of these descriptions, yeah, this is the problem is before when it was like, yes, we're drinking and carousing, that's with plus. Oh wait, no. You know what? With command, of course. Ravina, get us whatever pressure suits that you have on ship, so that way we can go ahead and set about fixing what you've got going well. Something to that effect.
So you're looking for station pressure suits, not even the ones back on our ship.
I feel like getting the ones from our ship. Okay, on one hand, there's almost a guarantee of us not dying to the empty vacuum of space. But on the other hand, free pressure suits?
Can't be that hard to have on a station. Yep.
There
Sounds
are
like
a
it's
lot
a
of
safety
ships here.
requirement. No.
What do you mean a 10? Okay, so we got a weak hit.
A 10 on the challenge die and a 5 against a 9.
Yeah.
Just a weak hit.
That's not
Holy
too bad.
moly.
Security advantage doesn't have that bad of a weak hit's fine.
Weak hit just means you get to
Yeah.
choose one, either the +2 momentum or adding 1 on your next move.
I think I'm gonna take this as momentum. Just because I don't know what our next move is per se. Because I don't think we know what's gone wrong. So I think the advantage is we get the pressure suits much faster than we would have gotten running back to the ship, donning it, and then coming back, right? I think Ravina actually has like a surprisingly serviceable set of suits nearby for Gaz and I. And then Gecko, do you need a pressure suit?
I don't. So so I was figuring that perhaps while you guys are dealing with pressure suits, I could be looking around, doing a little gather information to try and figure out where is Hole? Why is Hole?
Seems reasonable. I think we happen to be standing by the one airlock that the station has that's internal, that leads to where the station would expand, but it's just where they've put the emergency supplies because it can seal off from the rest of the giant room. So.
Alright, cool. So I'll do a gather information. A weak hit. So the information.
Quite a lot of those today.
Yeah, they're the most common.
Makes sense.
The information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover. Take +1 momentum.
Is it perhaps the flexible hose that's connected the tanker to our tank wasn't secured down all the way and ran into the side of the station at a place where it was just held together by duct tape?
That would make sense.
So we haven't finished fuel loading, but if we continue to, we may make the problem worse.
Ooh. Yeah, I just say we finished loading up
how
the
much
fuel.
Have we gotten?
Yeah.
How would we determine that?
Let's unironically just roll a D100 to be what percentage. Because I like the idea of us just having connected everything together and then immediately it going wrong, as well as anything else, right?
Makes sense.
We're a third of the way there. I think with the third, we can definitely say we have enough to refuel the Legacy, and we could just leave, right? Like, I think a third. I think I look at Gaz and I'm like, listen, I know the robot has an interest in preserving sapient life, but Gaz, we could just leave.
Do you not have an interest in keeping people from being dead?
I've got one person I'm looking out for, and that's Sevens. And I guess Gaz, maybe.
Good to know.
Perhaps we could just repair the damage and stop the fuel transfer for the moment.
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
I mean, I'm pretty good at putting stuff back together. I just need bits.
That's a fair point. Ravina, do you have some spare parts on hand? Gecko is quite the engineer. I'm sure they could repair this damage to your station.
And so I think Ravina's gonna not, this is the game mechanical explanation, but I think Ravina is going to ask you to swear an iron vow, Gaz, and I think that is, or no, Gecko, because Gecko is the one asking for materials. I think it's, swear to me that you will use these materials to repair the station.
What difficulty vow would this be?
God, this seems formidable to me, right? Like,
we're gonna be here for weeks.
I mean, yeah. Do you guys disagree? Like, this can't be troublesome, and I feel like dangerous is too.
I thought you were joking.
No, so
no.
What I'm wondering here is if it's a disconnect between the definition of repair the station, where we in the crew assumed that we meant like repair it to the state it was in,
That's
and
definitely
Ravina
what
takes it as like, oh, you're gonna fix up this station for me so that it's actually a livable station.
I see.
All Gaz said was, do you have some spare parts? Because Gecko can fix up the station.
Yes, we're gonna live on Crypto Station in the future. Great. I mean, sure, if that's what we want to go with, I'm fine with it being formidable. Just,
I mean, the other
with the understanding that it won't be resolved today.
It will probably never be resolved in the way that Ravina wants it to be resolved.
It's more than formidable, then.
It's probably just formidable.
Yeah.
I will warn you guys, by the way, it is, and our friend knows this well, but Lich, Xavier, I have a problem where I very regularly will overdo the difficulty on quests, because I want us to get more XP on it. So if at any point in time this happens again in the future, or where I'm like, whoa, let's call this like a legendary, you guys can be like, no, calm down, please.
I mean, I think here it makes sense if we indicate that like discrepancy in what we meant and what the NPC meant, and then that's like a reveal in the moment. I think that's interesting. There are definitely places where that wouldn't make sense.
I feel like it fits here. It seems like Ravina's goal has been established to, establish Nero Station, so it would make sense that there's a disconnect in the, oh, sure, we'll help you fix up your station, goes slightly differently than we meant.
All right.
Because the other thing that I'm thinking is that we swear the Iron Vow, we can reach a milestone, and then we can try to fulfill the vow with only that little bit of progress, right? So there is a chance that we do it, and she's like, great, thanks, bye. But then, right.
I mean, it's gonna be one box of progress. It's gonna be real unlikely. Sure, so I'll do a swear an iron vow. Where is it? Oh no, it's plus heart. I don't think I get a bonus to this.
Oh no.
Oh!
Ooh.
What actually happens on a mismatch on Iron Vow? I don't remember. Bad things.
One moment, as we have to go check the docks.
Where is it?
I have a scene for this, though. I can pull up the docks. What is it? Swear a vow?
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to want to control F for that. That term's going to be everywhere.
No, okay, I found it. On a miss, you must overcome significant obstacle before you begin your quest.
Oh man.
So, I mean, is this just the thing of it being the whole station?
I think that's what it is, right? Is like Ravenna hands you the equipment maybe, and immediately starts talking about like the refrigeration units are offline, and like Gecko looks at Ravenna, looks at the hole in the station, looks back at Ravenna. Ravenna's pointing at a refrigerator.
Makes sense.
Because I think, if I recall, a match is like on a miss, a match is like it goes extra wacky. So I think this makes sense for the thing. Like, yep.
Yeah, Ravenna standing in their, vac suit as the station just leaks atmosphere into the void of space. Pointing at a refrigerator. Fairly comical.
Yep. So I've sworn this vow. I suppose now I just try to. The significant obstacle in our way is we have to repair the lethal bit of the station and do the fuel thing, and then come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we'll be coming back here more than we originally thought.
See, I mentioned it, and the game was like, I got you. So I guess, unless anyone has anything they'd want to do first, it'd probably just be like face danger to try and fix this thing.
I think face danger makes a lot of sense.
It's kind of the generic do an action that isn't another move.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I will get a +1 on it and a +1 momentum on hit if I succeed, because it is a move to craft, repair, repurpose, or modify equipment/technology, which is one of my assets.
Makes sense to me.
I keep hitting the text button instead of the roll button, and it's really throwing me off.
Yeah, you gotta hit the roll button to actually roll. It is nice that the information is in the sheet, though.
It is! It just moves everything when you do it.
It does do that.
Okay.
Nice.
We can work with this! Okay,
Take
so
+1 momentum, and how do you patch the giant hole, or maybe relatively small hole, in the station?
So I have to mention that to start with, it's actually, I think what happens is Ravenna offers the duct tape, like, more duct tape, and Gecko looks at it and goes, maybe, and then just, like, looks at the air kind of, like, swooshing out of it, and just takes, like, a square of metal, sticks it over it so it's, like, being pulled out, and keeps around it instead of just taping over it, and it just... It's far more effective than the single piece of duct tape between space and air that was there before. So, that's better for now. Less hole.
For now, that's good progress. Do you think you could fix the oven next? It's been forever since we've had a hot meal.
You have an oven on here?
Yes,
I
quite.
guess
I
that-
mentioned it in the tour.
That's right, you did. I'm sorry. I was slightly distracted by the air.
Well, you seem to have solved that problem. Can I take this suit off now? It's really doing a thing to my my look.
I think that's looks to other people who know more about air. I think that's fine.
Do you think we can figure out a way to swindle this to keep the 2 vac suits? Or would Gaz not even bother?
I mean, how good of a vac suit is it? Is it like just as holding on for dear life as the station, or is the vac suit like actually a good vac suit?
I think it would be very unlikely that the suits would be of good quality. No, they're garbage.
Then no, we probably have better ones on our ship.
Okay. If that's the case, yeah, I think Seymour just takes off the helmet. Like maybe even is a little exasperated. And he's like, okay, can we get going now?
Well, we do need to decide as Gaz is getting out of their suit as well. We only got about a third of the way loaded. We don't have fuel for both the Legacy and Eternity Station.
We could try again.
Seems potentially just as dangerous, but yes, we could continue to load more fuel.
Here's what I'm gonna go ahead and do, because y'all are the smart folk and the talking folk. I'm gonna go outside the hull of the Legacy with my mag boots and my environment suit, and I'll just make sure that nothing goes wrong this time, okay?
Sure. You're going to go face some of your own danger?
Yeah, and I do think that's what Seymour probably does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goes into the ship, probably puts on what is turning out to probably be a purple environmental suit. And you know,
I actually think this one's ruby red.
Oh, okay.
Easier to see against space.
Yeah, the big number 7, maybe like hand scrawled on the back of it. And yeah, Seymour is going to go out and face danger to make sure, or Sevens is going to go out and face danger to make sure that this time the fueling process goes without a hitch.
Makes sense to me.
And I am paying attention, so of course that rolls with wits. My best ability.
You can roll it with any ability.
Yeah. I think a catastrophic failure here would be hilarious. So no.
You in fact get the inverse, even with a fairly low action score of a 4. You do beat the 3 and 2 for a strong hit.
It's Seymour's luck.
So
+1
I get
momentum, and I think the rest of fueling goes without a problem.
exactly.
We fill up our tanker up to 100%, and perhaps we should make a note on the ship that it has a fuel delivery in the cargo section.
That would make sense, yes.
There's a cargo spot, so fuel for Eternita Station. Nice.
I think that's all Seymour has to contribute at this point. And then he gets back in and he harumphs his way into the security console seat, and he's ready to depart whenever you guys are.
Yeah, I imagine there's definitely a moment where everyone's getting ready to leave, and Gecko's like, going over towards the door, and Ravina's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Perhaps Gaz has already left at this point, and Ravina goes, I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name, but the oven's still not fixed.
Hang on. I'll be right back, I promise.
You get the
it will-
like the most okay, I believe you face possible out of Ravina.
Well, so Gecko will go over to the door of the ship, and instead of going, he will kind of like knock against it, like, "Hey, hello, I need to ask something really quick."
Your comms panel lights up, or I guess maybe you just get a radio transmission. I don't know. How does Gecko receive a like comms message?
I think they just receive it. They're just kind of having a moment.
Yeah. So you're at the door then, and it just there, and you just get a comms message from Gaz. You didn't need to fly to the door to ask a question. Or Krull, excuse me.
You know, I did panic. So the lady wants me to fix an oven. I think we may have misunderstood something here. So, yeah.
Well, we are looking to get underway. The rest of the crew would prefer to return to a more established station for rest.
Could we come back though after, maybe?
I'm sure we can return at some point in the future.
Maybe
we'll bring some more supplies along for expansion when we do.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell her that. Maybe she'll be okay with it. I'll go figure it out. And we'll run back the other way.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like skid to a stop in front of me. Alright, so I kind of need to go back with the ship because they're my ride. But we can bring you more supplies after. And then I can fix your oven. Because ovens are very important for the life of a station. You know?
Yeah.
Do I need to do a compelled roll here?
That's what I was trying to figure out. It would seem reasonable, yeah.
I feel like also you've definitely reached a milestone in that the cold vacuum of space has not sucked everyone up and out.
True.
Into it.
Yeah. I agree.
Can I get a +1 on this roll from having saved their station from death?
That also seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think this is probably with heart.
Makes sense to me.
It could be with Shadow if this is just you lying to her.
It's equally bad, and I'm also not lying.
No.
Gecko would never lie.
Gecko wouldn't lie about this.
Yeah.
Why would they lie? They're more confused than deceitful at the moment. They're like, this lady wants their oven fixed. I guess ovens are pretty important to cook things. Okay. I suppose
So
there comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counteroffer.
You said we might come back with more materials to like do more stuff with.
I did say that, yes.
I feel like Ravina is like, yes, bring me back like another spaceship to staple onto a Nerio station.
Where am I gonna find a spaceship? I don't have a spaceship.
Not Ravina's problem.
I just found all of these. Maybe you can tow one.
Gecko will take out their list and just add to it a spaceship somehow. Question mark. I'll see what I can do.
That's a perfect request.
Top Hat does bring up an excellent point. I didn't hear any specifications on the size of the spaceship.
I'm not gonna point that out now. There's definitely a part of Zenith that is like, hey, just for your awareness. Gecko's just like, it's fine.
It feels like a perfect place to continue to miscommunicate between Ravina and the crew.
Mm-hmm. So. Look, she didn't specify scale. I'm not gonna get clarification on it this time.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, so I think I cooled on, be like, okay. Do you have like a comm number or something? Do you have that here in case something comes up and you're like, hey, we have no air? Because that'd be bad.
Sure. She'll like send you the communication numbers for all of the connected ships.
Nice. Lots of redundancy. That's one thing they have.
I feel
that's what you think until you actually try to contact them.
I'm gonna call them all in swimming order.
I feel like Gecko, you should make a connection with Ravina.
I could try. It's my best stat, heart. Okay. I do have 5 momentum, so if it goes really bad, I can use that.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my connection?
Because here's the thing: is that what's awkwardly happening by like complete happenstance, definitely not by design, is Nerio Station might end up being our accidental like second home base after Eternitas. Oh.
You've done this twice in a row now, where you've gotten a weak hit by rolling a match to the action score of the challenge die and beating the other one. Just,
I need something that lets me win ties.
Well, yep.
On a weak hit as above, the connection comes with a complication or cost.
I
feel like we already know the complication or cost.
I think the spaceship and fixing my entire goddamn station are the complications and costs.
Yep.
Yeah, like, I think that does make sense, because it's already going to be a whole time.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, here's the thing that's interesting about this. It's really upsetting, but I think Ravina is only a troublesome ally. I don't think this connection at this moment in time is that valuable, but I do think in the long run, they could be, like super helpful, right?
Yeah.
As stated, you've got to get in on the ground floor.
Oh no! Can we recall the currency of Nerio instead of Nerio coin?
We can rename it later.
I bet we can rename it in the future.
Oh boy!
I think
right.
though, as you're wrapping up that conversation, the our comms officer of Haley comes over.
We'd be looking to be retroly, if that's alright. I'd like to make it back to Eternitas to spend the night there. One night on station rather than another night on the spaceship. Let's me set off further exploration.
I missed part of that, but it sounded like we wanted to leave.
Yes, did it not quite come through all the way?
There were bits and pieces that the radio static affectation was a little too disorienting, but yeah, we got the gist of it, I think.
Yes, the request is to leave.
And we get on that shit and vamonos.
Is Gaz leading us back, or am I leaving somebody else in charge for the return journey? Sounds like Gaz is leading us back.
I mean,
I think
as the
that's-
captain, 'tis only makes sense, yeah.
Sure. This feels like the set a course, right?
Yep.
Well, it's unfortunate that we took a -1 to supply here. Ooh.
No!
Ooh.
With a roll of a 5 on that action score, with a 6 and a 10 on the challenge dice. I'm having really bad dice luck. I need to quit rolling. on a miss,
no.
you are waylaid by a significant threat and must pay the price. If you overcome this obstacle, you may push on safely to your destination.
I think this is the thing we were bringing up earlier, which is 10 years ago, Captain Kaisa is the one that we demanded the fuel from. I think Captain Kaisa's bigger, better equipped friends move in the way of the IFS Legacy and are like, I don't think you guys are going to actually get past us. You guys are going to give us the fuel right here, right now, kind of situation. Oh, what a powerful name too.
Very good name.
Which
before we either get into this or write a bit of this before we end off, do we want to mark a milestone for actually getting the fuel? Because we didn't collect it all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does it make sense to call it the MDS Sovereign Skies? Marja and Dotir's ship, Sovereign Skies?
Yep.
Okay.
Is there any other detail for... Okay, pay the price is a fate. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright.
Which maybe they want something other than the fuel. They could theoretically want something else.
That's true.
Yeah. I think it feels appropriate though that they... Even if they don't want the fuel, they think they got robbed on what we paid for it.
That's fair. That's
Ooh.
they may not have carried before, but they want something now.
Yeah. I've got it. Maybe one of our crew members nicked one of the crates of
oh shit!
Crystals, but we don't know it's on board yet.
And it's definitely not causing any problems.
Definitely not. Cool. So where do we run into this problem then?
I guess
is
at
it like
some
immediately
point...
as we try to leave?
I think so, right? Like maybe out of the like shadow of the smoldering red star, or I say shadow from the other side of it, obviously. Like as we're about to move towards not a nearby gate, I guess, or is it a nearby gate? Do you think?
Probably not. I think we're just on our own FTL drive for the moment.
Okay.
I think we took a gate to get to Eternity Station.
Yeah, I think Haley gets that, like hail, right? On the comm station, and it's the MDS Sovereign Skies, which, oh my god.
It's a very edgy name.
Oh man. It fits for MD from what we know about them, right? Majra and Dotair.
Yep.
Oh man, the captain's name is going to be something super pretentious.
Well, let's find out how they introduce themselves. Seems like the name is Isaac.
That's not too pretentious.
Do they have
Sorry
a
for all the
dramatic
Isaacs
last
out there.
name?
Oh. No.
No, pretty normal one.
Yeah. I mean, it is a list of human names on the Starsworn stuff, but yeah.
That's
The
true.
Starforge stuff. Yeah, it's probably like they come in and it's like, halt your ship. If this is the IFS Legacy, there are goods that have been taken from Nerio Station that were not yours to procure. Please halt and prepare to be boarded.
By whose
What if
authority?
it's not? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was like, what if it's not the IFS Legacy?
Ship transponder says IFS Legacy, so you are the IFS Legacy, and now you are just trying to lie to me.
I know it was just a question.
Okay.
No, not a lie.
Answer, you are the IFS Legacy. Prepare to be boarded.
By whose authority are you boarding our vessel?
By Majra and Dotter.
I wasn't aware you had intergalactic police authority out in this region of space.
Oh, you know what? That is a good point. And I think, right, like, on the security console, we see that their weapons are charging up. On the authority of the guy who has the bigger guns, huh?
Does the IFS Legacy even have a weapon?
I don't think we have any weapons.
I mean, I'm sure we have, like, you know, something to deter light piracy, but maybe not this level of deterrence.
Yeah, let's double check.
We have a vehicle bay.
Mm-hmm.
We have an internal refit.
Yep.
And that's it.
All right. Great. No, we don't have anything to deal with pirates. I think Gaz presses the mute button on the comms and goes,
Mm-hmm.
we can't outrun them, can we?
Maybe.
Can is a strong word. Maybe. They are very big. However, maybe we could go somewhere very small.
Does there happen to be an asteroid field nearby?
I mean, that seems likely. We know that there's a bunch of floating debris and that sort of stuff. So, no, there is no asteroid field nearby.
Darn.
Well, we tried. Gaz unpresses the mute button. What did you say we took? It was my understanding we only transferred the agreed upon fuel. Not sure why that's a problem.
We don't care about the fuel. The fuel is, how you say, poco and poco. No, we are here for our rightful property that is on your ship. And what do I think the name of the crewman who stole the bleed crystals is?
I don't know. Let's find out. There's at least 5 people on the bridge, and we've only named the one other NPC. Yeah. So there's what?
Yeah.
2 more at least to name? One more.
Well, we do have Haley on it.
Yeah, but you know.
You don't want to give up Haley the day that you created them.
She doesn't quite seem like that would be the thing. She'd go steal.
She was also
she was
on the ship the whole
right?
time.
Yeah.
That's true. We have an Evelyn Shin. Or Shin, or however we want to do that. But yeah, okay. And what role do we think Evelyn has?
One of the cargo, like, dock hands.
Oh, yeah.
So just, like,
No,
general
for
stuff
sure.
around the ship, but, like, when we're unloading and loading cargo, they're totally one of those people.
Okay.
It is also 9:30, by the way.
I think, as much as this is a hell of a place to end, I think this makes sense to end it here, where the MDS Sovereign Skies has weapons locked on our ship. They're making claims for something that we don't know if we even have it. And we pick it up here from last time. I am very sorry that we have not rediscovered anything yet. But
I don't know.
Did?
We totally discovered a new station. It's
Oh,
the
that's
new
true.
hip up-and-coming station, a Neuro station, with its own currency Neurocoin that you should convert your howl into today.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Last I've heard,
But,
it's going to go to the star, because there's only a star in the system. No moon.
There's nothing else in this. Not an asteroid field. Nothing.
Nope. I think it's
Oof.
just this lone space station orbiting a smoldering red giant.
But yeah, with that being the case, y'all want to start doing outros, or?
That feels appropriate. So, how about you start then, Demeist?
Oh, sure. For those of you who don't know, hi, I'm Demeist. I am a variety Twitch streamer, doing, of course, a variety of content. Beacon Space Rediscovery is going to be my first TTRPG show, one I'm very excited for, and as you can tell, we're already having a lot of fun with. So I'm very excited to do that. Over the course of this upcoming week and the weeks afterwards, there's a lot of stuff that we got going on. Some of the sort of core stuff that I want to bring up is tomorrow we are doing a charity stream for the Jingle Jam. We're going to be a very small part of that, but we're going to just do a little charity stream. Any donations go towards any one of, or can be split amongst 10 great charities. And if you donate 35 pounds, which comes out to, I think, just under 50 USD, although it's been a while since I've checked currency conversions.
44 when I checked.
Okay, $44. You get a whole bunch of different games as a reward for the donation, so it's a fantastic experience overall. But yeah, that's just what's on my agenda. Otherwise, as always, thanks for having me, Rich.
Yeah, thanks. Gecko, Indifferent, you wanna go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Enderfriend. I am a Twitch mod on both Demise channel as well as Unrestricted Lorefare, which is Xavier's channel. I also just am around on both their respective Discords, hanging out, and I am the faction rep for the Algamala Syndicate on Unrestricted Lorefare, so I do a bunch of cool lore there.
He's my boss.
I'm not your boss.
She's my faction's boss.
Something like that.
I just submit the documents.
Well,
I do the paperwork.
speaking of who the paperwork gets submitted to, I guess that's me, your GM for the faction turn within Beacon Space. And yeah, you unfortunately you just missed our most recent lore stream and faction turn, and due to the winter holidays, the next one won't be for quite some time until January. So the next lore stream and faction turn stream will take place in January. It's tentatively scheduled for January 14th. So hopefully you'll be able to come on out and explore and learn more about the world of Beacon Space. But in the meantime, the world of rediscovery will certainly be an interesting, captivating interest. That sentence made no sense at the end. I don't know what happened. So if you're interested and want to learn more about Beacon Space, I'd recommend you pop into the Unrestricted Lorefare Discord channel, where you can get to be able to create some of these cool things that exist within Beacon Space, and who knows, maybe even a species or location you create will show up in Rediscovery.
But yeah, that's all from us, folks. So
Seems like
I think we're good to end it.
I think
Next
so.
session, January sometime?
Probably.
Yes.
Same reason with the holidays tend to cause scheduling nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
The
I believe
earliest
2
would
weeks explicitly is the 26th, which sounds dreadful to schedule for.
Yeah.
So,
I can't imagine January 2nd either being viable. So the earliest most likely would be January 9th. But yeah.
yeah. Cool. Well, we will see you no earlier than January 9th then. Hopefully you'll join us for Beacon Space Rediscovery Session 2. The title still to be determined, but it probably has to do with the MDS Sovereign Skies. So,
Yeah.
we'll see you then, and until then, thanks for watching.
We'll catch you all around.
Bye!